always having a gym fit. I need people like cute gym outfits, people like matching sets. Honestly, that's the motivation for somebody.
It is. It is.
And they must act out from head to toe. That makes them feel like they're actually going to the gym. So actually intentionally having the proper, so even outside looking good, you also want to have the proper attire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
From shoes down to your shirt to your tights or your want to
Yeah.
become
Yeah.
right.
It's
And
it's interesting because there's this thing about gym fit that makes you empowered. I cannot explain it. uh Maybe it's just the way, I mean, as a mom of two, one of the things I'm still trying to work on is my core and my abs. So there is still that mommy pouch and mommy bulge, which is okay to have, right? And when I wore my gym stuff yesterday, and I was just like, this is nice. I was looking at myself in the mirror. It's like, I don't know, it's just empowering. To me, I find it empowering when you're like, I actually like how this feel on my body. And that just kind of do something to your brain where it's like, oh, I'm going to the gym now. One day my tummy's gonna be trimmed like this. One day my arm is gonna be, So it's just for me, I just find it empowering. And also for me, one of the things you said that resonated a lot with me was just you going to a personal trainer or a fitness trainer if you have the means to. So when I kick started my journey, and before I go into that, I just wanted to segue into the fact that it doesn't have to be intense.
yeah,
You kicking off your fitness journey doesn't have to be intense. And when I started, after I had my daughter and I was almost shifting to the 200 pounds, I was like, okay, enough is enough. I stopped breastfeeding, which was about 8 months. Not stop, but like at least she was not solely depending on breast milk. So I was like, okay, this is the time for me to get my stuff together. And all I did was walking. I started walking with this lady, I can't remember her name now, the popular lady on YouTube, 5 miles and 4 miles, 3 miles, fast walk. So I started with that. And I realized that, oh my goodness, this is harder than I thought because you're going on a pace, your heart rate is increasing and things like that. Eventually, I said, okay, I think I'm now in a good spot where I can start lifting weight. I can start going to the gym. But then I didn't know anything about the gym at all. So I signed up for F45. I laugh in my sore muscles.
oh, good job.
I signed up for F45, and the cost of F45 was my motivation because I tell you that thing is so expensive, especially if you're starting out. But you know what? That was something I needed to do for myself. I went every day I remember one week I went 5 days, and we're talking of high impact, very like, I'm leaving the gym, I'm like, my legs are cramping. Well, it was good feeling. Like I was looking good. Now, the question, what you mentioned about you don't have to stick with it for forever for your entire fitness journey. It's true because eventually, after I got to about 100 classes within a span of, I think, 8 months, I was like, now I think I'm good on my own. Like, even now, when I go to the gym, I'm not a gym equipment kind of girl. I still do a lot of body weight because that's what I grew up in quotes to learn how to use. So thank you so much for sharing that. That's really key. I hope that whatever you are, anyone out, the women or men or whoever is listening to us right now, is whatever journey you have right now, wherever stage you are right now, it's not too late to kickstart your journey. It's not too early to kickstart your journey. You don't have to go hard. You don't have to do big things in quotes, for lack of better words. Like, even if you just start with like 10,000 steps a day. When I started with 10,000 steps a day, it felt like it was impossible. But really now, like Darius said, there's the thing it does to your brain where it's like, when I haven't done 10,000 steps a day, my body is feeling like I need to. So I'm taking a walk. I'm intentional. Even when I'm at work, I bought because I work mostly from home. So I bought a stand-up desk. So when I'm at work, I'm there. I'm just like, standing and I'm in meetings. I'm taking like walking on one spot. So all those things are practical steps. So thank you so much, Derek, for sharing that. I really appreciate it. So speaking of 10,000 steps, no bragging, I'm already at 9,000 and it's just 6:30. So, so, But I know Dare is probably like 20K, but let's just leave it at that. Because she did a run today. She did almost 10 kilometers. I'm stalking you because you're my motivation. So just FYI. All right. We only have a few more minutes before we end this live, and it's been so informative and insightful. It's been fun and exciting with you, Daria. I only have two more questions for you, and hopefully, if anyone have any question on the chat for Daria, please feel free to put them on, and we'll read that out, and hopefully, Daria can answer them for us. So, I'm just reading my notes here. So, how do you prioritize self care? Right, and exercise while taking care of your family, because we as mothers we cannot realize the fact that we are the caretakers of our home, we are the caretakers of our children, and even our husband inclusive. So how do you balance that without, and I was talking to someone today, I said the person was feeling overwhelmed with what they were doing at this current season of their life. And I said, she mentioned, like, I'm trying to find the balance between this and home life and spiritual life and all that. And I said, there's really nothing like balance. For me, I look at it as buckets. So you have your own bucket, you have your school bucket, work bucket. Sometimes one needs to be more full than the other. So how do you balance this all, in quotes, for lack of better words, to caring for your family, your own personal self-care, and at the same time still finding time for your personal fitness business and run with dairy and just you as a person and as a mother?
I would say, for me, I built it in my schedule. I'm a mental scheduler. I try to pen things down. But we run on schedules in this house too, because we also run a family business. So my husband will know, okay, what's happening? Are you going out to the gym tomorrow? Do you have a client tomorrow now? Like, okay, so like how we planning, and asking for help too. Very important. I was never one to do that. I'll be very honest with you. I always had that mindset of it's just Noah, right? Yeah, hobby, you can rough it. It's just one child. But even with one child,
it's a game changer.
I'm very, very honest with you. So asking for help, being okay to reach out to family and friends, say, okay, I just need time. You want to go get my nails done, to get a massage. If you have a partner, your husband, your spouse, they can take care of the little ones too as well, for you to sneak away. For me, I'm very content when I've slept. If I haven't had good sleep, everybody around me, well, I don't even know how to explain it. Sleep actually so important. I'll say, honestly, that's like my love language. If my husband can let me sleep for a whole day, that would be good. But honestly, just finding also what works for you. And then finding what works for you, where you can sneak away to fill one particular bucket without actually, how do I say it?
Depleting the other or something like that.
Something doesn't have to suffer because you're trying to do something. Make it all happen. It might not necessarily all happen at the same time, but just finding a way. And I find with those things is communication. And like actually finding the time to ask me and planning it, like putting it in your schedule. Like, me, for my self-care, honestly, is my lashes.
Yes, which you look good, by the way.
My nails, my hair. I'm such a hair girl. Like, my hair either has to be so braided or I have my wig on. So these things I put in my schedule because I know when I did the last one, I know when the next one is coming up.
Right.
So this is the time that I need a way to do it. If it's to get a massage too, let her be in the time that I need to step away.
Right.
I think, especially in the country we're in, I don't know if everyone's in Canada on the call, but maybe I believe most of us are. We're very independent here. Sometimes we don't have the luxury of even finding help. That's right. So it's so important to plan. And it's so important to also communicate when you are so drained.
Yes, please. Yes.
I'll be very honest with you. Like, the help will come. If you don't say anything, you won't find the help.
Right.
just need to say it. And don't see it as you being over vulnerable or you being weak. I think that's the other thing, most women, I mean, like you said earlier, Oyinda, is we always feel like, got this, we're so strong, we can use this. um, example in the beginning, we're so strong, we can push through everything. But there are times too where it's like, we don't want to have responsibilities.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's okay.
We just want to be a baby girl. Like I always tell my husband, I'm like, I'm your baby girl, no. Don't stress me.
It's okay to kind of step away. And I think that just refreshes you. And whatever
Mm-hmm.
self-care means to you is so
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
have that in your in at least once a month. And like it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't be like I say, my own self-care, I've named it, and sleep must be inside one way or the other. Like I must have a day that like today, after I ran in the morning, I knew it was a light weekend. My husband stepped out, Noah was at home. I just said, okay, Noah, let's go up. You can watch TV. Mama just needs to sleep.
Sleep.
And I mean, even though the sleep was half and half, but I was content. I
Yes.
woke around noon and I was okay. Grocery, and I went to do grocery already. So it's so important. Communicating your feelings, communicating step away, and scheduling. Like actually putting it. If you're one to say, like if I was to ask you, Ada, what are you doing tomorrow? If you're one of those, okay, let me look at my calendar. People that self care is
Should be
scheduling.
right.
So
Right.
that it's one of the easiest things we forget.
Yes.
Think we can on the fly just do it, and sometimes we can, but most times we can't. We don't. Life happens so fast. Like, oh my gosh, as a mom, especially, you're carrying literally your entire house on your shoulder. So
Yeah.
being intentional about these little buckets.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm taking away scheduling it and communication. Communicate. Ask for help. Communicate. Schedule self-care. Self-care is as important as taking care of your family. I cannot stress this more than I am talking about it now, that you cannot pour from an empty cup. Like there's no way. You can only give what you have. So if and I'm glad you mentioned sleep because we're so alike in that manner, because I would rather prefer to sleep than eat. And my husband knows. so so I remember the day I was traveling for work to Florida, and it was already past midnight. I no 11:30, because again, as mothers, as women, I just wanted to make sure the fridge was packed, grocery was done, my daughter's hair was made. It was during school. No, it was the last day of school, last week of school. So I wanted to make sure uniforms were set, everything was in proper shape. And to be honest, when I got back home, most of the food that I cooked were still in the fridge. They were just eating out. Anyway, that's by the way. That's just to say that we women, we need to give ourselves grace. I was on a live session last few weeks ago, and I said this. I said, motherhood is hard, but grace is sufficient. Give yourself grace. So that being said, for me, I find that, even like I was saying, that my husband knows that this is something that is dead to me. When I sleep and my head is correct, like that, it feels like my head is correct after I sleep. And then he made a statement where I was like, okay, now I need to, call it a night and just know when to stop, which is why communication is key. Having an accountability partner. So he said, babe, you need to go and pack now, because by the time I now wake you up, now you'll be cranky. It's okay. I was like, hey, Shil, thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling me out. But really, that's the truth. So if that's what self-care looks like to you, whatever self-care looks like to you, please, please, please make sure you do it, and you do with no mom guilt, with no guilt at all. Do it with your full chest and just embrace it. Schedule it if you have to. If yours looks like just taking a walk, if you cannot book a vacation, or if you cannot step out of your family right now because of the family needs, you can always take a walk to the park. You can always just sit in silence, You can always just have a communion with the Holy Spirit. Like there's so many ways to just fill your bucket as a person, as a mother, as a woman. So that being said, we only have a few more minutes. One of the questions that I wanted to ask at the end, maybe I'll ask it now since we talked a little about Noah, is do you I've seen some videos where you've incorporated Noah into your so tell us, and that's something I'm looking to do with my son because it was at summer camp. It's still at summer camp, and one of the things they talked about was the Olympics. And ever since then, he's like, "Oh, I want to run. I want to go to the Olympics." To the point where he made, the Olympics touch made with cardboards and things. He drew it out, so I can see the passion and drive in him. He's still 7, and I remember going to, at the gym yesterday. My husband asked the attendants, like, when is the earliest age you can bring them? And she said it's 14. So I know going to like a gym, public gym, is not something that's feasible. So how do you incorporate or you involve Noah in your fitness routine?
Noah in my fitness routine. Honestly, I would say he just attached himself. So we had Noah around COVID, yeah, COVID-ish time. So I used to do a lot of home workouts at the time. I segued into the gym space. So he would see me doing it. And rather than me shoo him away, to be honest, I would say, come and join me now. Would it be an effective gym session?
Maybe
Probably
not. Yeah.
Again, maybe when he's napping, or maybe I would have woken up much more earlier to get out done, because I know if once Noah wakes up, he will come join me. So that's how I would say that's how we introduced him to physical activity. From there, we also saw his interest. So run, and he's pretty quick actually. So we put him in soccer. And
nice.
He's come back. Oh, Mama, I want to also play basketball. Oh, I want to play hockey. Well, like, okay, you have to pick one. I mean, he has a very loving father that has actually bought him all the balls. So Noah has a soccer ball, has a basketball, has a football. Wow. It's just for him to pick. But one thing we were very intentional about is, okay, he sees us doing it, right? He's been a part of the run club. In fact, I've seen him grow, and that was blew my mind, because I used to take him when he was a baby on the stroller. Yeah. When he started walking, okay, he joined, because it's a 5K run.
Wow.
Of course, he couldn't run the entire 5K at the time, so he ended up either staying on the stroller or he's being carried by one of the run club members. But this summer, he joined maybe 2 or 3 times, and he's 5K. I mean, now we have the 1K break, which everyone breaks at 1 kilometer. For everybody.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, Noah, I'm so proud of you.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't say carry me.
Yes.
Your Bible, there's no more carry. And he ran.
Wow.
Exposure, I would say, and just letting them do it with you. Interested in the Olympics. Sure, if you're going on a walk, encourage him to come on the walk with you. Just best here to have a gym space. Shout out to Pro Edge, where kids are welcome. So,
wow, that's awesome.
Pelvic floor clinic called Pelvic Floor for pre moms, atom. So they actually have a class. So then they use the space. So it's very welcoming to children. Most times, when I have my clients, I mean, now I know this is not the opportunity. But when you see the inclination to fitness or physical activity, I encourage us not to shut it down.
Right.
I know maybe all of us are on this call are Nigerians. I know growing up, that's the first. Well, you want to be a footballer, you want to, not to say they will necessarily do that, but maybe we necessarily were not encouraged, play sports, to pick up sports. But the world is changing. The generation. So honestly, if you see that slight inclination, encourage it, push. You're going for your walks, take him. Even with workouts at home. I mean, if they're awake, if they want to join you, sure, don't be bothered about, I need to do this quickly. I'm time bound.
Yeah.
So that workout for that day has probably jaga jaga scattered. Sorry for my language. As effective, and that
Mm-hmm.
they're seeing it.
Yes.
Kids, they go by literally what they see most
See,
times.
yes.
Here. So if mommy and daddy are doing this, they most likely they're going to pick it up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Showing them the way.
Yes, yes. So it's when the first day I saw him in your workout videos, I was just like, this is so cute. And I think he has his own little dumbbells as well.
So that was the only one. In fact, we need to up it because now it seems like nothing to him. We have
Oh
to
wow.
and he carries that 15 pounds so effortlessly. So I'm like,
Oh my god. That's amazing. That's amazing. I think one of the things that I'm taking away even for myself is just, encourage them. Don't even though, like you said, the workout might not be as effective as you not having, but that's just the joy of it. That's the joy of it, just having someone, not just ordinary someone, but your child, your children being in that. So they are like, my kids know when mommy is going to the gym. They know when I have to go on a walk. They know when I have to do a run. So incorporate that into their lifestyle. So thank you for that. I wish, is this pro, what is the name of the gym you meant? Pro Edge. Like, I wish there was something, Pro Edge was in Ontario as well. I would gladly sign up. And then we'll get to that, as we wrap it up, to, just tell us more about what you do and everything like that. But, the last thing I just wanted to ask you, what advice would you give mothers or anyone in general on this call right now? What would be, if you were to just say one thing or two things to everyone on the call right now, what would that be in relation to fitness, making fitness a lifestyle? Maybe you want to touch on diet a little bit, whatever the case might be. The floor is yours.
Okay, I'll say extend grace to yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't beat yourself up. That's okay. I had this grand goal maybe at the beginning of the year that when we get to the half of the year, I'm supposed to be at a certain weight, or I'm supposed to have been doing this. Life happens.
Mm-hmm.
See, is as well. The fact that at the top of your mind
Yes.
shows and the Lord
Mm-hmm.
also sees that and
Mm-hmm.
honors. That's one. And I'll say consistency really goes a long way. It's easy for us to start something and stop. It's actually much harder to be consistent. Trust
Yes.
me. Anything else. Consistency builds a lot of discipline in you.
Mm-hmm.
Just makes you do hard things.
Mm-hmm.
So building that consistency in whatever movement you have chosen will go a long way. And start small. So I know after this call, if your small is, okay, I'm going to sign up for a gym membership, that's your small.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're small, okay, I'm going to wake up and walk 30 minutes every day, go for it. Trust me, that's something. If you're small, I'm going to wake up and start doing home workouts, go for it. So couple that with extending grace to yourself and also consistent. Keeping, like, literally coming up with the schedule and saying, okay, maybe I'll do Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. I'm going to keep the body rest. Thursday, I'll let my body rest. But if you want to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll take a break. Whatever it is, just try to come up with a plan and be consistent and stick to it. Another thing, I know we didn't really touch about this on the call, is your diet. So what you eat. To be honest, I would say I eat everything, but it's all about portion control. And now, don't yourself. Now, there are people that love sugar. You can't stay without maybe drinking pop, drinking coffee, tea. Then now that's where you say, okay, I know where my weakness is and I have a goal. Start something new or start a new health challenge for myself. Is maybe no pop for the entire week, or maybe if you drink 2 pops in a day, reduce it first to one or half. Yeah, and then also just portioning your meals. Now, with the diet, I'm not licensed there, so I'm very honest with you. But pick on what I know knowledge wise. You just need to know yourself when it comes to diet. Because
Right.
everybody, body wise, people that actually need to eat more.
Yeah.
To eat less.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the aspect of, okay, you're missing certain nutrients.
Right.
Like
The class
iron.
of food. Yeah.
So diet is very much pertaining to the individual, but in general, we're all encouraged to eat a balanced diet. So always incorporate vegetables in your food, always incorporate fruits in your meals, water, so important. Thing. Dehydration is a killer too. So actually having 1 liter of water, actually more than a liter of water, at least if you can add a liter of water
in a day.
It's a step to the healthy living. But I know diet is a big one. I know when it comes to moms, motherhood, I will also say pace yourself there, to be honest, because when we talk about food, it doesn't just miraculously change overnight. You start baby steps. Like okay, drinks 5. Let's say if you drink 5 cans of Coke a day.
I hope nobody drinks that.
I drink that, but I won't tell you okay, stop.
Yes.
It will be so hard because
yes.
The truth is, I mean, even if you stop for that one day, on Tuesday you're gonna drink 10. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Setting grace to yourself, knowing your body, knowing your weaknesses and your strengths, and just gradually ease your way, either out of this and into what you want to become. That journey.
Thank you.
Said like plenty things, so I really hope everyone.
No, this is a very insightful conversation. This is such an eye opener as well. And thank you for being honest with us. I love how you were like, I'm not licensed to talk about diet, and which shows your heart. And I'm grateful for the opportunity that you have. Like I said, I know you're very busy, but thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us about what is so dear to you and what we've seen that you've shown in practicality. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm sure everyone on the call or everyone that has joined this live or will listen to this video after would be very grateful for that. One thing I just also wanted to mention is, when you said diet, like when I mentioned diet, what I also wanted to hear, which is one thing you spoke about, is very individualistic. Like what works for Mr. A wouldn't work for Mr. B. So just wanted to put that out there, like Daria said, find what works for you. I'm not a fan of going on a strict diet myself, because like she said, as mothers, as mom, I'm not a fan of cooking 2 meals for my family at a time. So whatever I eat or whatever the children are eating, everybody's eating. But Daria said portion control. Don't eat their leftovers. Trust me, don't eat it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because you've already had your own calorie intake for the day. When you eat that leftover, you're eating more. So I just want it's something I learned the hard way. So all in the bit of you go waste. I don't want it to waste. No food waste in our house, and then you just gulp it down. Anyway, hopefully one time we'll talk about motherhood and diet and things like that in some time. Hopefully God will lead me to the right person to talk about that. But Derek, as we wrap up now, tell us, how can people reach out to you? I know you talked about how you have personal training, things like that. Tell us much more about Run with Derek Club. I know most of my people that join might not be in Nova Scotia right now, but at least what other way can we support your business? What other way can we come, get in touch with you?
Thank you, Yinda. Okay, so you can reach out to me or check me out on Instagram. I would say Instagram is my Instagram and LinkedIn actually, I should say, are my most active social media platforms. For ProEdge, I think I also linked ProEdge, which is the gym that I work out of and receive my from. In my Run with Dairy is another platform of mine that I'm very active on. That is the Run Club, and we also do have our own page. Is On with Dairy Run Club, so you can check us out on there. Encourage us, share our posts, our videos. We do run every Thursdays here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. By God's grace, we will extend to other provinces.
I'm looking forward to that.
I do in-person personal training right now. By God's grace, if I'm led, I would also do offer online services as well. Honestly, that's something that has been laid on my heart. So we'll see how the Lord is leading me in that direction to be on. I'm also an HR professional. So I do work in payroll. So on the LinkedIn side of things, that is everything HR is on that side. So you can catch me on LinkedIn at Gary Akindoju, on Instagram at Mrs. Doe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I didn't see any question on the chat, but I hope this has been as impactful and insightful as it can be because I learned a lot. And I'm so thankful to you, Dere, for giving us your time, your wisdom, your expertise. We're so grateful. Thank you so much. And on behalf of everyone that joined the call, we're saying thank you, Mama. God bless you. God keep you. God make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you and your family, and your business will continue to grow more and more in Jesus' name. And with that being said, have a wonderful long weekend. I hope everyone is off on Monday to recuperate and spend time with their family. Until next time, we'll be in your Instagram pages and all that good stuff. But thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it.
For having me. I see all my people on the chat. Thank you so much, Dami, to me.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Easy motion Taurus. Easy motion Taurus.
Good night, babe.
Toxic relatives are. Plato Canada is a great place to go if you're looking for some adventure and not doing it afraid, do it anointed.